name Bad Optics come from?
Oh man, I'll let one of the other guys talk about that.
We came up with a list of like 10 different names, most of which were not very good, which is why we're not called anything else.
I don't even like music! I need it like a knife in the back!
There was a committee of 4 of us who were in the band. We all had different names that we liked, but I think Ryan floated Bad Optics out there, and we all liked it.
It really sounds like a horribly compromised band name, but what's wrong with that?
We're Bad Optics, and you're watching Band in Seattle.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, Bad Optics combines twisted and hypnotic hooks with angry and poignant lyrics for the perfect soundtrack for collective rage. Recorded live at Victory Studios. You're watching Band in Seattle.
Chris and Josh and I have been playing music together for a while.
After we were done playing in our last project, we still kind of played music with each other, just like it was like either me and Chris or Ryan and Chris or me and Ryan.
And I started doing a solo band called Nail Houses. I got an offer to play at the Fisherman's Village Music Festival in Everett and decided it would be cool if I maybe got some of my old bandmates in. We played like a whole set and we started playing together and practicing for the show, and I don't know, it just felt right, so we just went with it and kept writing songs and kept playing together, and here we are.
Oh, the first show where Chris almost died?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a way to debut.
Last year, when we were getting ready to start the band, we thought it would be sort of a cool idea. Instead of Chris doing his project, we would just like do our first show there. And so it was kind of like us sneaking on to like a perfect moment in a time slot when we had like nothing to our name yet.
I was looking down, playing, and then I looked back up, and the speaker had fallen over, and Chris was like, what do I do? Looking around, and I think I just turned to Josh and I said, don't stop playing. Yeah, we didn't stop.
Captain
Chris is a guy who's equally into politics, memes, dogs, and punk rock and hip hop, which makes him hilarious and well-educated about the world and a damn good musician.
He's definitely like a big influence on how like I think everyone else has like continued to write music, and I think he is just like a really, really good songwriter. And it's really refreshing to have someone in a band like that, because you learn a lot. He kind of challenges you to write better songs and think about it a little bit more, and that's kind of something that I've taken in from playing music with Chris.
As a lot of people know, when we were starting this band, we had a practice space. It was me and Chris and Josh, and we realized that there was something underneath the concrete, underneath our practice space. So we rented like a jackhammer type thing and started pounding through the concrete. And we realized, feet underneath, that there was a cryogenically frozen man with an afro. The process of bringing Henry back to life sort of unleashed a new plague from a past time. I think it was worth it because of how great of a bassist Henry is.
After the break, uncover more about Bad Optics.
Josh and I are the comic relief, I would say.
Well, you can move your little objects around. You know the future's gonna still hunt you down. Yeah, you can organize your mind with a plot. Just you become something you know you is not. Well, it becomes so easy, it feels so great when you're in just a bonus way for the wolf society. Bonus way for the wolf society. Bonus way for the wolf society.
Ryan is a very talented performer, very, very energetic, very lively, much more acrobatic than I could ever hope to be. Yeah, besides that, he's also a really talented songwriter. He comes up with these weird, like, snaky kind of melodies and stuff like that are really cool, and his vocals have a lot of, not exactly sure how to describe it, just a lot of weirdness behind them.
He's definitely just like at heart a performer. It's always different and it's always really exciting, you know, and he knows how to like influence a crowd and like feed off the energy, and that's something that I really admire about him.
Suggestions to make.
Josh and I are the comic relief, I would say. I love Josh. Josh is a drummer, right? So he's my brother in arms when we're on stage. We're both equally feeling the same kind of pain when we play. We're both equally like getting through. Some of these songs are really hard to play, and so we're kind of in it together.
He's an insanely good drummer. He has a lot of energy behind his drumming, and I really like that.
Universe don't seem to care. One way to go. You so trapped inside the hole. That body move. That one begin to choose. Alright, that body go.
Hostile. Henry likes to make fun of that song because he thinks it's about an android. And I mean, it kind of is, I guess.
I believe was birthed from an early like jam that I had with Chris. I played that bass line. It was just a little jammy thing, and then he was like, I kind of like this. I think I might turn it into a song.
It's more about if you could give something like the self-awareness to know that it will eventually die, would you do it?
Warm Strokes of Pragmatism. The title Warm Strokes of Pragmatism is sort of tongue-in-cheek, just a perfect title for a little group of crazy-ass songs that you're gonna like put out into the world. In a way, it's sort of connected to the name Bad Optics because there is like a veneer of sarcasm. Viceroy is a song that I wrote kind of a long time ago before we started this band. It is really guitar oriented and I think it's a pretty colorful song, and a lot of that comes from Josh's drumming. He has used a lot of imagination in terms of like how to recompose a lot of the drums in a way that is appropriate and I think speaks to our relationship as musicians.
After playing all these very up-tempo songs, I kind of have to like recalibrate my brain a little bit to kind of like chill out and like slow down my adrenaline a bit. It kind of like challenges me in a way.
The path is getting darker now. I sense the fortune drying out. The path is getting darker now. I sense the fortune drying out. Tree. Dead friends, nosebleeds. Nobody handles you as much as me.
When we return, you'll find out more about Bad Optics.
It's just so like pointy and predatory.
Turn screws. That one is just a bunch of pretty metaphors, and well, not pretty metaphors, they're pretty gross and ugly, but weird abstractions for a Marxist view of capitalism and how it kind of intentionally fluctuates and things like that. And I try not to make the description of it really boring, because if you've ever read Marx, he's pretty boring. There's this perpetual rise and fall, you know, in our economy and things like that, that is sort of intentional. Like, it's all just bull.
You know, it like creates all these opportunities for him to do these things vocally, just rant at you in such a like perfect way. It has just like, in my opinion, a really filthy bass line. It's just so like pointy and predatory, you know?
All that is falling out into air. Hide the normal life, but I don't care. Are you happy with where we're at? You're feeling fulfilled. You're in control of your life, just within the limits of the script they built.
For the future, we're talking about the usual band stuff that bands talk about all the time.
Planning on going on tour soon, and so that's a big one for me, and I know it is for the rest of the guys.
I really enjoy playing with these guys a lot, and I feel like they're my brothers, and I feel like we've gotten very, very close over this year, so I'm excited to get in a van with them and stay in a van for a whole week, or maybe 2, I don't know.
Maintain, decay and compose. A cycle designed to centralize in the whole. Wealth, power control. A cycle designed for those who are in the know. Maintain, decay and compose. A cycle designed to centralize in the whole. Wealth, power control. A cycle designed for those who are in the know.
I'd like to get a little bit more experimental with the music, start incorporating like other instruments into it. It's been a big goal of mine to start using synthesizers and things like that live, because I don't really want us to just be like a punk band necessarily. I'd like to be a little bit more diverse than that, or at least more experimental than that.
People get like kind of riled up when we play, which I really like. We prefer smaller venues where we're like really up close to people. That makes like just the whole continuity of all the shows that we've played just sort of like a really visceral and like kind of raw experience.
I don't even like music! I need it like a knife in the back! Drag it to the depths of the pit! Oh, wait. We always got the right way, hold each other's hands. We always got the right way, hold each other's hands. We always got the right way, hold each other's hands. We always got the right way, hold each other's hands.
tonight, go to bandinseattle.com for more Bad Optics.